speaking of that night, I had myself a little scare. So I'm on break, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hyped up because technically I'm losing an hour of work. As soon as 2 o'clock hits, it forwards to 3 o'clock. I know some people are going to be like, oh, only Americans would believe. Eat a dick. But I was sitting in break and it was 3 o'clock and my lady texted me, hey, are you home? No. She goes, fuck. I'm like, what? She's hanging downstairs with her sister and they hear someone walking around upstairs. Now, she constantly hears stuff in this house. So I'm like, I'm trying to, talk like, what is it? What, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, I don't know, but it sounds like someone's sneaking around and moving stuff upstairs. And she automatically thinks someone busted in. She's already scared. There is some dude who walks up and down the street talking to himself all the time. So, whatever. It gets to a point where now I'm getting worried. So I say, do I need to come home right now? And she said, yes. So I used UPT and I bailed out of work. It sucks. The check's going to be less, but I told this to her. I'll get to that in a second. But I rush home, leave before the car is fully heated up because I was like, one time I can, And let me tell you something. I didn't give a fuck about a single traffic law. I was going around people to run red lights. I was speeding through stop signs, not giving a fuck about the speed limit.
I mean, what do you have to do for your wife,
I wasn't fully on board with it was something because a couple of reasons. A, she always hears stuff in the house. B, we have a bit of a mouse problem right now, But she said it sounds like someone's in the house moving stuff around. So, I mean, I got to go save the PlayStation.
Not the wife, not the dogs. The PlayStation.
I got a PlayStation and computer in there. Like, I'm going to stay at work. But no.
All right.
I pull up and there's a car outside in my driveway. So I park across the street. Text her like, what is anybody else there? And she's like, oh yeah, Bugs, her sister's boyfriend is coming. But I already parked across the street and I said, all right, I got two options. One, I can use my keys as a little fucking, you know what I mean? Or I had a grocery bag that was full of like 3 water bottles that I could start swinging around. I felt like that was the water bottles were going to melt after one swing. I could fuck up someone with these keys. Yeah. So I run my fat ass across the street, down my driveway, and her sister's boyfriend is leaning up on his car. I didn't say a word. I just beeline to the door. And I immediately, thank God I didn't break this door down, because I grabbed the handle and just threw my body weight at it, and it didn't move. And I was like, well, that's a good sign. Unlock the door, walk in, and I'm running all over the house, checking every room before I go downstairs and check every room. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And she feels bad about this. She's like, I made you leave work. Check's not going to be as big. And I told her, and I legitimately felt this, your safety, your peace of mind is so much more important than money. Because it is. Yeah. Right? Her peace of mind and her sister's. Can we afford to do this every day? No. But if she was legitimate, like she was shaking, she was freaking out, Bug was shaking, Bug was freaking out, I'm not staying at work. I have the time, I can cover the time, and we'll deal with the money situation when it comes up. Okay?
Yep.
Now, what I will say, no. But that was legit. That was, the longer it was taking me to get to the house, the more anxiety I was getting about the situation. Because
when you're by yourself and in a presumably silent situation, you're probably just thinking in your head like, oh, nothing can go wrong. But like, maybe it's like this, or maybe it's that, and then you just keeps going, and you're like, damn, somebody's in my house right now. I need to get home.
Yeah, no. At the start of the drive, while I was sitting in the car, And the reason I left before the car was fully heated up was I started off with, it's probably nothing. And then as my car was heating up and she kept texting me, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go right now. 15 minutes into the drive, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to grab the guy and I'm going to throw him against this and I'm going to try to get my knife and I'm going to, and then
a whole plan.
As I said, once I was fully across the street, I was like, all right, let's go. It's now we're never done.
Go time.
Yeah. It'd have been funny if I walked up to her sister's boyfriend and just said, yo, you want to dip? You want to go get some Waffle House?
Try to go grab a beer. Now, I had a question early on in that story, and you said there's a man that walks up and down the street talking to himself, right?
Yeah. He's known across this neighborhood as Crazy Steve. And I know that sounds like some kind of cartoon, but people have come across him, and yeah, he just mumbles to himself. He's very sporadic. He's mentally ill.
Okay, well, that negates all my questions. Never mind then.
Now,
because I was going to be like, somebody just chooses to walk on that road?
Now, as a spooky thing, last week, me and her were about to get in the shower, and we had our door open, and I was walking to go get my clothes, and she was walking to the bathroom, and from the living room, we heard, hello? Yeah. Dude, I'm dead serious. And I looked at her and she was like, you heard that? And I said,
I'm saying by the way, goodbye.
You want to come over for a cookout?
I don't know about that one anymore, you know?
No.
And you had me in that house?
Going back to the early episode.
I went all the way to the basement. My life. You brought me in here.